Okay, so welcome back to our final day for the Netflix clone with React. And like today, we are just going to give it some finishing touches, and we will going to have a quick recap of everything what we did till now. Before that, I just wanted to have a quick confirmation. Are you able to hear me? My screen is visible to you, and as well as I am, and there should be no lag at all. Yeah, hello. So a quick confirmation will be really nice. So, am I audible? Mm, I'm just waiting for your confirmation. And we are just going today now. I'll just tell you what we did till now. So, recap of user state, user effect, and also I'm just going to tell you about two things. First, how to change these photos into videos as soon as you will hover over it, and the but that is not we are going to do in the session. So it is going to be your task, but I'll just tell you how to do that. And I'm just going to share you this code and as well as the final Netflix clone so that I have made. So you can basically check what I have done, what you have done, and everything. So if need to put the key to solve. Yeah, I'm just going to give you a recap how to take the keys. Yeah, we are going to do that. Abhishek, yep, we are going to convert these photos to the videos. Today we are actually going to do that part only. Yep, so let's start with the keys and all. So how to get this keys? So actually, so the database I'm using here is the movie database. So just do a quick Google search, the movie database. Yep, just do this quick Google search here and you will see this first link. Just go over here. You have to sign in here. Sign in process is very simple. It's just like logging into any other account. So just sign in here and click on your profile icon. So this is your profile icon. Click here and go inside the settings. Click on the settings and then you're going to have this panel. At this panel, click on here on the API. So see, I hope you can see it. Let me just mark it one more time. So this one, you have to click here, delete it. Yeah, click here, and you are going to get API key. This one. So API key v3 auth. Just copy this thing. So this is the API key that you are going to use. So this is how you have. I think Leon, your doubt is solved now. So this is how you can get your key. So let me just give a recap of everything from starting to the ending part, and then we will convert those images to the videos. And I'll let you know how I did this, and you are actually going to do that by yourself. Yeah. So first thing first, when we started, I told you about you have to install Node.js. So I hope that everybody is still here have successfully installed the Node.js. Second thing, as soon as you install Node.js, a thing called npm will be automatically installed on your computer. To create a new React project, you have to execute the command, and I'm just going to write all these commands here. So in this GitHub now, I'm just going to create a new file, and I'm just going to name this file like cmd.js. Inside this, I'm just going to commands all, so you can see it. So first command that you have, or first step. The first step is to, step number one is to install Node.js. Okay, and you may have an error of environment. The environment variable is not found. From here, download this, and second thing, you may have to set up set up the env variable. Okay, so here's the video from where you can see how to set up the environment variable, but I have also covered this part. Let me just double check it if this is the video for setting up the environment. No, this one is not. So you can Google it. So it's actually for the Python environment, for environment for Node.js, and you can see it on the YouTube. So I'm just going to put here YouTube now. By the way, we have covered this in our session as well. Next thing, you have to don't do this now, don't do this. Just execute the command, create a react project, create react app by executing the command npx create react app, and here you have to put the name of your project now, name of your app, name of app. So inside this arrow bracket, just create write your app name, and next you basically have to open the folder and execute the command npm start to run your app. So these are the steps, and I have just written all the steps for you, so you can basically create your react app and you don't have to look anywhere else. Next thing what I did, inside this source folder we have this app.js. So whatever you're going to have here is actually going to be visible on the screen, so that we have already covered. So, and what is this app is? So it's a function which is going to return you a JSX. So this may look like HTML, but it is JSX, and a component is nothing but just a function which is going to return you JSX. And this is and we can create multiple components. So I created three components here. First one was nav, second was header, and third one was content. So, and let me just put some comments here. So I'm just going to write a comment so that you can come and see what is written here. So this is actually the nav component, and let me just comment this out. Okay, I have to put it here. Just give me a second. I will put this. Let me just format my thing. Format document with prettier. Yep. So this one as a top. The first one is our navigation component, nav component. So it is a component which is just going to have that navigation bar. Let me just comment it out. Second is our header. So it is the header like background and all, background image with text, with search bar, and not, I think we don't have the search bar. We have the buttons with buttons and title and title title. Let me just comment this as well. And then we had our content with the movies. So these are the three components that we created. And to style our things, I told you about the two things. That the first one was, remember the first one, you can create a class css, you can basically create a css. All you need to do is to import this css here, and now you can give the classes. Okay, so this is all you have to do to provide the styles. And I also told you about one more way to style something, by writing the style tag. Okay, so by using this style tag. So this I also told you about. And I'm using something called, so one thing you also have to do, so I'm just going to write it here as well. So install axios. I have done this 1,000 times, so it's automatically suggesting me. So you have to install the axios to execute this command, npm install axios, so execute this command as well. So these are the commands you have to basically run on a computer. So first thing first, we need to create horizontal scroll bar for each line. How to get the certificate? Yeah, let me, hi sir, late okay, no worries. We are just having the quick recap. How many movies did we set for our row? Like it's unlimited, Leon. What I did now, I've set the property overflow hidden. So no worries. It's not in concern that how many movies you have. We have, instead of that, what we are having a scroll here. So let me just stop the video for a while, otherwise it's gonna lag a bit. I'm just going to start it after some few minutes. Yeah. So we have this scroll here, and I basically hidden the, I made that scroll bar hidden so that you cannot see the scroll bar here. So this is what it's gonna look like at the end. Yeah. Let's just continue with our recap. Just open this. Yeah, here we are. So navbar. So in the navbar, like, yeah. So how to style things? I'm just going to add here this as well. So how to question mark here, style a react component by using create css file and import that file in a component, or another one is use the style what we can attribute here to the style, to style the component. So these are the two ways, and use it in the class. So I'm just going to keep it there. So now you also know how to start and style the things, and you can now we can basically close it now. So that's more than enough of recap. Yep. So where was I? So here we have created our navigation bar, and for the navigation bar we use the two special things called use state and the use effect. So what is this use state? It is used to create some special kind of variables, and as soon as these variables changes, your UI is going to update. So your UI is going to update. So these are the states. How to create a state? Import use state from the React and import it. It's a function, so just call this function. You can pass any initial value here. So right now the initial value for my state variable is going to be false in this situation. Then inside this little weird way, you have to get the variable name. So you can write any variable name here and just write any name here as well. So it is going to be a function and it is going to be your actual variable. So it is our actual variable and it is a function, and this function is used to update this variable. So you cannot update this variable directly. We are actually going to use this function to update this state variable. And here where I use this thing, this state, just to show change the background, just to change the background of my navigation bar. So what I did in the use effect. So what is this use effect? So use effect is nothing but use effect is just a hook. So it's another hook like use state, and whatever you pass here inside of this use effect, this is how you write the use effect. Whatever you are going to write here is actually going to be get executed as soon as your page loads for the first time, your component loads for the first time, and every time it updates. And what you're going to do here, I'm just setting up an event listener. So this thing is very simple. I'm just setting up an event listener, and on the scroll just execute this function. And inside this function, I'm checking for the scroll value. If the scroll value is greater than 10, just set the value of show to true. Otherwise, make it false. A simple if and else condition here. And depending on the variable value of show, if it is true or if it is false, I'm changing the background color from this little darker color to the transparent color. So this is how I achieved that effect of this effect. Uh, 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 this effect. So as soon as I scroll, it's going to become little darker. I see. As soon as I scroll, it is getting darker, and as soon as the scroll is 0, it is going to become transparent. Yep. Then we created the header component here. So let me just show you the header component, how it's looking like. So this is our header components. It's nothing but it is just having some inner shadow. For inner shadow, I am using some a linear gradient. So a linear gradient from top to bottom and from bottom to top. So it's CSS. It's not about React, it's about CSS. And here I'm just having some divisions and images with some styling here. So this is not the trickiest part. It's just simple HTML and CSS. So inside the header.js, we haven't written anything special here. We just use the simple HTML and CSS here. So you should don't have any doubts here. So this is the CSS, and we covered all the CSS in the session. So you can basically have a look at that as well. Okay, and the third part is actually our content part. So this content is actually the content which was showing all the movies. So this third part, this third part is actually our content. No? This third part is actually our content. So let me just close it for a minute. And let me just check if you are having it. Can you please show us the code where you have horizontal scroll bar? Because I don't have the horizontal scroll bar. Yeah, Leon, I'll show you that as well. So don't worry. I don't have the scrolling in my project. Okay, don't worry. Voice is breaking, voice lagging. Uh, okay, is it fine now? Right now it is fine. I'm just going to show you this one. A quick check if you are able to hear me properly. Okay, that's great. So, what about this one, the last one? Yeah, this is the component, the content component, no? This content component, and it is just some very simple thing. So I created a row component here. I just created a row component here. So just give me 1 second. Yeah. So I created a row component. So this is the row component. So how it's gonna look like. So this is our complete content component. And inside this, I want to have multiple rows. So what I did, uh, yeah, complete code will be shared. So don't worry about that. Complete code will be shared on the GitHub. So yeah, so where was I? So inside this content component, we have multiple rows. So I don't want to create these rows again and again. So what I did, I basically created a row component. So row is a completely separate component. And by using the simple dot map loop, so it's JavaScript, now it's not related to React, simple by simply using dot map loop over this array. So this is an array. Inside this, so it's a row data is an array with the title and the URL. So what is the title? Title of the every row. Every row is going to have a title. So this is the title for that. And second thing, every row is going to have a URL from where every row is going to get their movies. So this is the URL. So I just created a constant here. So if you want to add multiple rows, you can just create another object here and you can add that URL here. So this is very simple. So now you can add as many rows you want. Just add the title there and just add a URL for that. That's all. So if you want to add more, you can add more. So it's a really good thing. So we are making like a code with all the possible good things. So yeah, so here is simple loop and I'm returning this row component, and every time I'm passing the title and the URL as the prop to this row component. Yep. So now let's move to the row component. So here we have our row component. So this is all about the content screen. This is all about the content screen. It's all done. So we basically separated where to get this URL. Abhishek, I'm going to share all these URLs with you. So like otherwise you basically have to do the documentation reading and all. So don't worry about that. I'll share you these URLs. So you can use these URLs. By the way, at the end of the session, I'll also tell you from where you can find these URLs. So don't worry about that as well. So let's just go inside this row. So inside this every row, na? So now we are inside the row component. So we can have multiple rows, and this is the row component. Inside the row component, I'm having a state variable and a use effect. Then I'm importing Axios. I'm importing Axios. So Axios is a library which will help us to get the data from the server. So if you want to use Axios, you can use. Otherwise, if you're comfortable with the simple fetch, you can go with that. But I mostly use Axios, so that is why I'm using it here. And I also added installing of this Axios in this .js. Let me just make it markdown md. So I all these things here, so don't worry about that now. For now, let me just convert it to JS and later we will convert into this. So I added this step here as well, install the Axios, and this is the command that you have to execute to install the Axios. So I added all the stuff here, so you don't have to do a lot of work. And here, what I did, I created a movies state. So initially, the values of movie is going to be blank array. Then I created a function. Then I created a function to get the movies from the server. So axios.get, and here you have to pass the URL, and from where we are getting this URL, we are getting this URL as a prop. So this as a prop. So inside this now we have all the URLs. So here every time I'm passing the URL, and then I'm using that exact URL to get the data, and I'm then setting up the result inside this state. So this movie state basically is an array of objects, with all the movies and pictures, everything here. And here then what we did, so here I view the title. So this is a row. Okay. And every row is going to have multiple cards, a title and multiple cards of movies. So I also created a card component. It's a separate card component I created. And for the title, I just use this simple h3 tag and use the props.title here. And then I have this row card. Inside this, I'm again using that map on this movies array,
and I am using these cards again and again. For each and every card, I am going with a title and a poster. Title and a poster. And card component is very straightforward. Like literally, it's very simple. In the card, we don't have anything like just an image. So this is all about the card. Nothing much here. So card component is really very easy. So you just, yeah, I'll just tell you how to get the certificate. So let me just tell you how you're going to get your certificate. So just go over here inside here now. In your description, you will get this one link. So just click here. Just click here. I think I already logged in. I have to sign in one more time. So just give me 1 minute. I got logged out. I don't know why. Sign in with your account. I'm actually signing in here. I'm using my account, Gmail account to sign in. Okay. And go over here. You have to mark all of your attendance. So how to mark attendance, I think you already know. Just click on the day, mark attendance, how much you like the session on the scale of 0 to 10. I'm going to go with 10 here. And then if you're interested in 6 months of full stack program, yes or no. Right now, yes. If you have any suggestions, if not, nothing, and submit your attendance. That's all. And if you're interested in our full stack program, you can click here to talk with us. And right now you can use the coupon code SK10 to get the 10% off instantly. Like right away, you are going to get the 10% off. You have to mark attendance for each and every day to get the certificate. Otherwise, you won't get the certificate. So at the end of this session, you are actually going to get a button here to download your certificate. Yeah, here you're going to get a button. Okay, let's continue with our project now. So this is all about now. This like literally this is how we created our project. Now what I want now, the next thing I want here is to actually let's just convert those images. Let's just convert those images into the video as soon as I hover over them. So that is what we are going to do right now. And for that, we are not going to use anything new. We are just going to use our previous code, previous knowledge. No new knowledge is required to do this. So let me just tell you how we are going to do that. So that is going to be very, very simple. First of all, just and use effect. Use a state and use effect from the React. Okay. Next, what I want is to basically have the ID. So as soon as you get the data from the URL, you're actually going to get the ID of every movie. So inside this data here you have the ID as well. So every movie is going to have a unique ID. So depending on that ID, you can basically get the YouTube URL for that. So I'm just going to add one more prop here. So I'm adding one more prop here, and inside this movie data, you are going to get this ID, and you can use this ID to actually get that movie in detail, and you can basically have the YouTube link. So how to get the YouTube link? To get the YouTube link, you have to get that YouTube URL. And how you are going to get the YouTube URL? So for that, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to tell you the way to get that. So set video, and right now it's going to be blank. So this is going to be our video URL. Right now it's like empty, like literally it is empty. And let me have a base address for the YouTube URL. So YouTube URL. So it is going to be our base address for my YouTube URL. So this every video in the URL starts with this. Okay, if you see now, every YouTube URL starts with this, and after this they have an ID here, some sort of ID. And now we have to get that unique ID for the YouTube, and that's very simple. You just have to use the use effect hook one more time here. So again, I'm just going to use and I'm going to create a function const fetch URL, and I'm just going to do that const response, and I'm again going to use await here. Await axios dot get. We did this yesterday. let's just import the Axios as well. Import Axios from Axios. We have to do this one more time. So this state is going to have our video link, now video id. So right now we don't have our video id, we just have the id of the video, like YouTube video id we want to have. And for that you can just write here this particular url is slash movie. And I think instead of that, now let's just go with the string interpolation. So this is what I want. Okay, and let me just do a console.log for the response.data. Let's see if we are getting our url or not. Okay, and just execute this function as soon as my page loads. As soon as my page loads, execute this function. So this is a url to actually get the url of the movie. Let's see if we are going to get it. Localhost 3000. Let's see inside our console panel if we are getting that YouTube url. Okay, just okay, see I'm getting all of my YouTube URLs. So these were the all the YouTube URLs. For some of them I'm not getting, for some of them you may end up with error. See, because there are not YouTube URLs for each and every movie. For some of them you gonna have them, otherwise not. Otherwise it's just going to throw you error. For some you going to have it, for some you're not going to have it. So if you want you can just put here. So I am just going to get this URL from here. So this now. So I'm just going to what I'm going to do here. If you have this movie, if you have this movie, okay, and inside this just type this. If you have this movie, YouTube URL, just set that to a video. Okay, set video to this particular thing. That's all. And if you don't want to get those error, you can just wrap this code inside the try catch. So you can use it to basically you should use it, otherwise you are going to end up with those red things. That's all. Okay, so now you won't end up with these red things here, like so many red errors. Sometimes actually you're not getting any ID here, so that's the reason. No results found. And now you're not going to end up with those red codes. There's also one way to do this. If you don't want to put it here now, you can just provide a second thing as a params. So I generally prefer this way. So just type params. So otherwise the previous one is also going to be perfectly fine. Just type here append to response, append, I think append to response videos. So this is also you can do, otherwise you can just put a slash here videos, but this is more descriptive, so I'm going to use this one. By the way, I also told you about the normal code document for prettier. Now it's gonna be a little bit good. Okay, and a quick refresh is going to be good enough. So a quick refresh, let's see if we are getting all of our movies or not. Okay, so for some of the movies we are getting this. I think I forgot to do the console.log, and we save it everything now. Element.id, we are going to end up with the IDs. I'm using the ID here. Okay, and videos, yep. So let's just do a quick Google, console.log for this videos. Console.log, let's see if we are getting our videos or not, video link or not. So by the way, how I'm doing this, so it's a URL to get the YouTube URL. So you basically there's two-way thing that you have to do. And yep, so here we have our URL. So I think video false. What is the error I'm getting here? Reading of 0. I think the response.data.results.keys or 0. This should be a thing, by the way. So just give me 1 second. Let me just see what we are getting here directly. So let's see what we are getting in the response. Console.log, console.log response. Let's see what we are getting from the response. Okay, here, and one more refresh, and I'm just going to remove this one. let's see what we are getting in the response every time. Na? What is, let's see what we are getting in the response. In this response, you will actually, so it is not actually our adult false. So it is, this console is from somewhere else. This console is for somewhere else. And this is the console we wanted. I'm having so many consoles here, so many. Yeah. So request data adult false and video false. Yeah, videos result. And I think this is the video. Yeah. So this is the video. So inside every object, you have to go inside the data. Then inside this, we have to go inside this videos, click here. Then you have the result, and inside the result you are going to have multiple results. Here I think this is your where's the key, yeah, this is your YouTube URL. So this is the YouTube ID. So this is how you get the YouTube ID. I know this is this may look little weird, but what we can do now, like, it is the only way to get the movies. So data dot, I think it was inside videos dot results. So data dot videos dot results, data dot videos dot results, and let's see if we are getting all the results in it. Okay, so let's check this as well. And I'm just going to remove all the unnecessary consoles. I think we are having some unnecessary console everywhere. So I'm just going to look for all the console.logs because I don't want to clutter everything with the console. Yeah, so this is the unnecessary consoles we were having. So I can remove it. Okay, and a quick refresh will do the trick. Okay, for we are not we're going to get. Okay, so we are going to fix that. I just want to see if we are getting, okay, results. For some of them we are not going to get the videos. Huh? For some of them we are not getting. Like initially we were having that error. For most of them, for most of them we minimum have a video, one link. There's one thing we don't have the video and all. So that's very simple. All I have to do, if the result is result dot length, if this result dot length, just write a simple if here, if dot length gth is greater than 0, then just set up that thing into a video. Okay, that's all. So we won't have that unnecessary errors because that was actually cluttering our UI. Okay, now it's gonna work. Now next thing, I just want to change this image. I just want to change this image to, actually, to what, to iframe. So we have something called iframe, and you can use these iframes to use the YouTube links or any kind of video. So I'm going to use this iframe here. So this iframe, and inside this iframe you just need to pass the source. So now we have our source and we got our source. So you can basically specify the height and width. So I'm just going to go with the width of 100%, 100%, and also the height of 100%. Source is going to be our YouTube base URL. So this is our base URL, and after this just use the video. Okay, just after this just use this video. That's all. And I don't like, if you do this now, you're going to have your video all the time. You're going to have your video all the time here, and that's not actually what I want. I just want to have my video as soon as I hover over them, not every time. So if I go over here, so a quick refresh, I think it's again lagging. So let me just close this one. Okay, SRC. I do this spelling mistake a lot now. SRC. I just write here SCR. Like, it's one of the most common spelling mistake I do all the time. Okay, by the way, I know that it's not going to work because every time you are going to have this iframe. So the solution is very simple. I'm just going to create a state here is hovered, and I'm just going to check if it is hovered. If our component is hovered, then only, if our card is hovered, then only I just want to check it now. So I'm just going to do here one thing, const handle hover, handle mouse enter, and I'm going to create one more function, handle mouse leave. Yep, and inside this handle mouse enter, I'm just going to write here set is hovered equals to true, and otherwise set is hovered equals to false. And you can use this here. Inside this division, you can basically set up a event listener on mouse hover, on mouse enter. On mouse enter, execute this function, and on mouse leave, execute this function. And I'm just going to conditionally render this thing. So don't worry, I'm just going to, let me just cover it, complete it. Then I'll just tell you now. Okay, that's great. I think I should change the condition to not. Format the document with prettier. Now I can save it, and it is going to work fine. Now it is going to work fine. And let me, just for double sake, let me just add the video also. If you want to, you can style this as well. So if you want to, you can style your media frame. So let me just give it a title as well, just iframe. Let's just give it a title, YouTube media player. And let me just add some more properties like allow full screen and allow all the default settings. So it's not related to react, it's just a simple iframe now. And frame border, let me just remove the frame border to 0. I don't want to have any frame border. So you can basically read about this more, because it's not react now, it's just a iframe. You can use it anywhere in the vanilla javascript as well. Now let me just open our project here, and let's hope that it's gonna work. So I think we are getting our movies. It's taking a lot of time. Okay, so by mistake now I literally used the wrong condition. If is hovered is equals to true. Okay, just let me just reverse the condition. If hovered is equals to true, then I think it's if this hovered is equals to false. So let me just switch this condition from by putting a dollar sign here. So true, false. Okay, it's gonna work now. So we are having all the movies right now. So it's taking a lot of time because movies obviously gonna take a lot of time to load. Yep, it's gonna work. And as soon as I will hover over them now, it's going to convert to that video. Because my laptop is having so many power issues right now, so that is why it's a little bit laggy. But it won't be, because now I'm also streaming. So streaming also takes up a lot of power from my laptop, so that's the reason. Okay, as soon as I hover over it, it's getting converted to the YouTube link. So it will convert that. So this is the exact thing I used here. So here I'm using the exact same thing. So it takes little bit of time. So it's going to convert that, but as it's going to work fine for you now. It's going to work fine for you. So don't worry about that. By the way, so it's at the end of the day, you have to do this by yourself. You can upload it, but try to do this by yourself. Try to do this by yourself. And also one thing you have to do is you have to fetch the current movie. Okay, fetch the latest movie, the top rated movie, and update the header component. So right now in my header, I'm using a default image here, default image as a background, and the default movie title. So you have to fetch the latest movie for the and I'm just going to put the URL here to fetch the latest movie URL for the latest, anything like that, latest movie, and I'm just going to put the URL here. So this is the URL. You can use this URL to get the latest movie. This is the URL, and you just have to get the one movie here. So you can basically from that array just get the first movie, and use that to write it here. I'm just going to start my video right now. So just give me a second, and I'm just going to just cover all the doubts and all. Let me just close it. This one as well. But rates take a lot of close well. Now I can close this and this. Okay. And let me just commit this code now. Day 5. By the way, use your own API. Use your own API. Don't use my API link. I'm just going to delete it because. So inside this, I'm actually using my key. So instead of this, you let me just remove it directly. So you have to use your own API. So I'm just going to put a comment here. Add your API key. I'm just going to put a comment here. Add your API key here. So don't use mine. I'm just because it's not going to work for everybody and sync changes. So that's it. Just let me start the video real quick by doing this. I can close this as well. So because it's already pushed, and I think now we are free. Okay, it's not working for any reason. Okay, just give me 1 minute, guys. I'm just going to start my video. It's taking a bit longer. Okay, so I think now I'm visible now. And let me just share my screen one more time. Yeah, that's great. So okay guys, so that was all. What about the arrow buttons to clip them? Okay, Leon, like you can create them. It's very simple. All you have to do is to put these buttons, okay, left and right. And as soon as you click here, no, just slide that, okay, just slide that manually. So you can have that slider and you can slide it. So there's code in the JavaScript where you can select an element and just do the scroll by and plus it, okay, increase it. So everything getting covered, everything in this small session was like literally impossible. So that was a problem. And yep, so your assignment is to, you basically have to create that header section with dynamic images. So that's the only assignment you have to do. And let's see if you are getting our certificates or not. So I'm just going to share this link with you, and you can also follow me on the GitHub. So here I'm just going to upload everything. So you can just go here on the GitHub and just look for Netflix. So just find me on the GitHub, and here just look for the repo Netflix. Netflix. So this one, Netflix clone essentials LU. Just click here and just clone it. Everything is here. You can just download it by yourself, start working on it. I have used cmd.js. You can read that. So I have mentioned all the possible things that you could face the problem, how to install it, how to start it, what all are the packages you have to do, and how to style it. So everything we covered in the session. And one more thing, what to make in the header. Yeah, so in the header we have to do just one thing. So I think I already closed it. So let me just open this project one more time so I can show it to you that what is your assignment. So right now in the project, that header image is fixed. That header image is fixed permanently. You have to change it so that every time you refresh, you will get a new image. And for that, I have provided the URL. So you don't have to think about that. So I have already provided the URL. Just look for that URL, and by hitting that URL, and by the way, now from where I got those URL, it's very simple. Just go over here, and the movie database, and here you can see all those URLs. So here we have the documentation. So API documentation. Just click here. Google the movie database. Click on the API documentation. Screen got freezed. Yeah, GitHub link. I'm just going to share the GitHub link. See, this image is permanent, so you can fetch it from the internet and change it on every refresh or do that. So it's going to be your assignment to do that, and we already did this in the session, so it's not going to be that difficult. And here you can see that API documentations here and discover examples. So they are going to see what all are the movies in the theater. So these are the URLs I was using. So these were the URLs I was using. So here we have all the popular links, you can use it. So just click here on the documentation and the discover examples. You can basically have so many more, but that is more than enough now. That is more than enough. Okay, so I'm just going to share all the extensions I was using. So let me open the VS Code here only. Show more options. Okay, so let me just tell you about the extensions that I was personally using for all of my project. I use these extensions only. So let's just go over here in the extensions. Let me close this now. Yes, absolutely. First extension I use is React snippets. So you see the suggestions now. As soon as I type RFC, I just get the suggestions. So here, the first extension I'm going to recommend you is React snippets. So install this one, and the theme was material theme. And I also use this one, simple React snippets. So these are the two must-have extension that you should have. Then I also use so many like better comments for the colorful comments, and the theme is material theme, color theme is a community material theme, high contrast. This is the theme I'm using, and that's it. Like that's more than enough. The font was dank mono and etc etc. Yep. So where was I? So just clone this, and if you're liking what we are doing, you can just visit this one link. From here you can download the certificate, so it's going to be here in a minute. So you can download your certificate from here, and you can chat with us anytime if you want to get enrolled into our courses, and if you're interested to learn the React from very basics to literally like advanced, Node.js, MongoDB, JavaScript, data science, anything, you can just visit our website once. Click here on the start learning, click here on the start learning, and you will see these two flagship courses that we provide: full stack web development and full stack data science. Right now you can use my coupon code SK10 to get the 10% off. I know yesterday some of you were facing the problem that this coupon was invalid, but now the issue is fixed. You can use this coupon from today. Like, I don't know why yesterday this coupon was not working, but from today it will, SK10. And we are going to we actually, me and you are going to create a 15 plus more than 15 projects plus one capstone project now. So this is going to be our primary project, and within the span of 6 months we will help you to get interview, will help you to crack that interview with our partner companies, and we assure you that you are going to land a job after this course. And the duration is like literally just 6 months. So these are the things that we are going to cover: HTML, CSS, JS, Node.js, Express, MongoDB, react.js, and there's little more. But the thing was, now you cannot fit everything here. So syllabus is literally huge. Okay. So I hope I'll see you in the classes. Certificate, yeah, I know about the certificate. So as soon as this session ends, you're going to, okay, so now we have a certificate link here. So now just click here. So just click here on this one link, and you are going to get this button, certificate, generate certificate. Just click here to generate your certificate. How much you like this session on the scale of 0 to 10? I'm just going to go with 10 here. If you're interested in our program, you should be. So the courses are for everyone, like if you're a college student, school student, or if you're working professional. Yes, any suggestion? Nothing. And just click on this download certificate, and you have to have 50 LU cons. So as soon as you mark your attendance now, already you're going to have this 50 LU cons. Just unlock it. Just fill up all the details. So these are the personal details like your address and all. So I'm just going to fill these details secretly so you cannot see this. Okay. And Lakshadweep city. Okay. So I'm filling up that form now, add this and all. Okay. Okay, let this just download. It is getting downloaded. Unlock it. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, now I unlocked my certificate and now I can download. You have to basically fill that form. So wait for a few minutes. Your certificate is getting generated and you can download it from here. And if you have any doubts other than that, you can ask me. So this is the download is downloaded. If you can share it on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, where you want to share it, you can share it. I cannot share it on LinkedIn because I was the one who was taking the session, but I will prefer you to share it on LinkedIn so that everybody can see that you have completed the Netflix clone course. Okay, you can copy it and whatever you want. So let's just open a certificate, and I have the certificate building Netflix clone using react.js in 5 days and certified by me. Okay, so I'm actually certifying myself. By the way, our certificates are actually authorized by ITM and NSDS and also like Google, Google Developers Group. So these certificates holds a great value. So you can use these certificates to improve your skill set. What are the advanced software like Gokul? Literally, we have literally just started. So you have like we have just literally scratched the surface. You have a long way to learn on. Like we have Hooks, then MongoDB, Node.js. In the React also, there are so many ways to style something. Use callback. Like I cannot even complete the syllabus if I say it here. It's gonna take 10 minutes just to for me to cover complete all the topics and all. So it was just starting. Now we have just started here. Okay, I think you enjoyed the session and you can clone it. In the initial day, na, we were having all those problems and all. So that is why. I think it's a good time to wrap up the session. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. So let me just open the chat and let's see. So by the way, this is my GitHub link. You can just click here. And by the way, you can also find me. So just log in into GitHub na, and look for me here. Just username. Just put this username. And right now I'm having 151 followers on the GitHub. So you can follow me there as well. Okay, how to horizontal scrolling arrow button called carousel. Yeah, Aditya, we call that carousel. I think you're talking about those carousels. That's very, very easy to create. So, but the thing is, it's gonna take a little bit more time. I have to explain it how those carousels works and bad request. Yeah, Karthik, actually, your error is here. It's not the error. So inside, open this error. So inside this, now you will have this response object. In the response, you will have a proper message that what is the error you're going to get. By the way, clone my project and you can start from there. Okay. Font family dank mon. So there are so many fonts I use. So I think right now I was using Fira code and dank mono. So DANK and MONO. So that was the font I was using. Okay guys, so that's it for the session and I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the class. Yep, bye bye and take care, and don't forget to complete your assignment.